Best storybook. There are moments in sports which are hard to believe. And then there's what happened Thursday. Call it destiny, a divine intervention if you must. Really, it was a gift. An incredibly inspiring, heartwarming gift delivered by two kings. Hold this moment close and dear. You will never see anything like it again. The numbers, and we'll get to those, are mesmerizing and fantastical. But this was a game for kings. The Sedans were fated like royalty on a night Vancouver said thank you one last time. If the story ended here, it would have been appropriately sweet and touching. But there was more. There was so much more. The Sedans saved their best for last, peeling away age, fatigue, and the physical wear which had left them shadows this of their former selves. They did it to produce the most memorable game they ever played. No, seriously. This is the one that will stick with you forever. It was the Jata walk-off. It was Kobe going for 60. It was two superstars doing what only superstars can do. They blew your freaking mind. It's a night we will remember forever, Henrik said. When you get a chance to go through this, it's once in a lifetime and you can't explain the feeling. None of us can. Best Shifty unfolded like a 3-hour career retrospective during which all the greatest hits were played. Dominant third period, yes. Tic-tac-toe goal got one. A wondery cruel shift more than a minute long where the Sedans brought their opponents to their knees, crushing their spirit with unyielding pressure. Oh God, yes. And inject that shift into my veins. The Sedans in overtime was everything. It was fast. It was breathless. And it was successful. Tell me this movement and speed. WASNT pride from a 2011 picture book sitting collective dust on a coffee table. That topped everything, Henrik said. When we got the power play, I thought something good was going to happen even though we were dead tired. We asked Green for a timeout and he gave it to us. I could barely stand up in overtime. The emotions really got to us. You got 15 seconds of energy from the emotion and then you were done. We tried to keep the shifts short, but in overtime, we ran out. Best goal. It was the first nod. Tonight was going to be special. If it had ended after this one, it would have been a perfect evening. Henrik off the rush creates room with his skating and edgework. When has anyone said that this do have Eddie involved in that play, like he was on my 1000th point too? That was special, that's important, but how did you pull this off from my own end? I got some room and they lost some guys on their forecheck. I looked Gags off, he laughs. They forward goes to Gags and I was able to cut inside. Eddie came in the perfect spot and he made a great play, and then he dropped another Sedan zinger. When I saw it go to Daniel's stick and I was just hoping he wasn't going to fan on it. Best near miss. Just how wide was the smile the hockey gods were beaming while watching over this game. Fueled by adrenaline, Henrik took a run at Luke Shen. I don't know why he did it. He doesn't know why he did it. But he hurt his knee and for a few tense moments thought it was serious. I tried to hit Shen but I missed him and my knee went into the boards. I thought it was going to be worse. And this is why Henrik said and doesn't hit people. Best EXCHANGEW. Did you have an out-of-body thing going on tonight? You were skating like we haven't seen. Henrik. All yeru. I was going to go back a little further to tell you the truth, Henrik. We got energy from this whole thing. We had 15 seconds of energy and then we were dead tired. That's not normal. I think our heart rate was through the roof all night. That's tough to keep going. Best quote to Henrik. Now you can stop being nice to us in the papers and tell the truth. Don't you worry, we were telling the truth. Best emotion. Did it ever overwhelm you? Henrik. Yeah, a few times. I tried to look down and refocus. I couldn't look at the crowd. I couldn't look at the Jumbotron. You have to look down and pretend to drink some water. Best VIEWBEST mindblower. The numbers didn't end there. Not even close. Point 3 Swedish players had 2 points. Number 33 Henrik 2 assists no. 23 Edler 2 assists no. 22 Daniel 2 goals. Daniel's second was scored 2:33 into OT, or 22:33 since the start of the third period. Face-offs were 33-22 Vancouver. 22's first goal was his 22nd set up by 23 and 33.22's second goal was his 23rd set up by 33 and 23. Best stats. Daniel had 10 shots on net. Henrik had 6 attempts and one of them went off the post. He nearly scored on that play, and this one too. The amazing thing is, Henrik had 3 real chances to score goals. Instead, his career ends with his last home goal coming 15 months ago when he put up his 1000th point by beating Luango. What got into him tonight? Henrik. I got a big bonus if I got to 4 goals but I didn't get there, lol. Best effort. How good were the Canucks in the third? They outshot Arizona 15-0. Best THREADBEST What's NEXTTSN Stu asked each Sedan what they were looking forward to most after retirement. They both said, skiing. Daniel, I haven't been able to. Skiing is on the can't-do list contractually. It's been 18 to 19 years. I hope I'm able to ski. There's lots of things we enjoy doing which we haven't been able to. TSN Stu. So will you start small on the bunny hills, Daniel? No, you have to go to the top right away. Right, triple black is ITUH, triple black diamond. Dude has no fear. Best impression. At least we know Aquaman listens to Pratt. Best theory. There may be something to this. No, not the retiring part. But the Sedans' original plan was to announce their retirement when the was over. Why did they change their minds? Part of it, because they saw it as the right thing to do for fans. But is it possible they knew this would take some of the heat off of a team which had spent months in a free fall? Sure. Best nod to Swedish great Ekman Larsson. To be in this game, the last home game for the Twins, is pretty special. It's something that I will remember when I look back. What about playing against them? You were just trying to get off the ice when they stepped on the ice because they are so smart out there, trying to find each other, and every player they play with they make them better. Best ghosting. Now, hold on a second here because... So the famously reclusive Matt Sundin came forward to talk about the Sedans, but Anson Carter, who has been in the media working as a hockey analyst for NBC, has been turning down every interview opportunity. Wait, what? Is this real life? On this topic today, Daniel made it clear the Sedans wanted him back before he bolted too. They loved the guy and even mentioned him in their Players Tribune piece. When Daniel said he made the best possible decision for himself, Mac said, no he didn't. Daniel laughed. Anson was texted. Anson was called personally. People went through NBC. Major Canadian sports radio stations tried to intervene. He ghosted all of them. Did the same to all of those people reaching out on social media. Best TROLLINGBEST missed opportunity. Sedans had some good one-liners today, but this would have brought the house down. Daniel was asked about all the line mates HES had, and asked specifically if he can think of any which should have worked but didn't. If he mic'd DROPD Louis Eriksson right then, he would have blown the roof off the place. Instead, Daniel basically said, well, Wade Brookbank, and he scored. He sure did. It may rank among the Sedans' greatest achievements. Brookbank was a tough guy and a lifelong defenseman. The Canucks were trying to turn him into a right winger. He played a couple of games on the Sedans' wing. And he scored. Maybe they could play with anyone. Best routine. What was said in the car ride over to the game? Henrik, there was a camera in there so we were quiet. Henrik, nah, it was special. We've taken the same route to the rink for close to 700 games. It's always special when you cross the Burrard Bridge and it's a nice day and you can see the mountains. Today, we didn't see the mountains, but it was still nice. Best inspiration. Their energy from this crowd. It was a throwback to a lost era. Can it inspire the next generation of players? For sure, Daniel said. The know now, if they make the playoffs it's going to be like this. There's no better way to play hockey than when you have a crowd like this. It brought back a lot of memories from playoff series. It was a great way to end. Well, always remember this crowd. Biggest frustration if you stand with us in the goalie mask debate, and you should. Just know we have a very powerful, influential friend. This is what we're talking about, the ear mask. It remains the most polarizing mask in Canucks history. Some, like me, hate it. Some, like me, blame the mask for soft goals, poor execution and any negative public perception. You think the media is negative, blame the mask. Okay, that may not be fair. But, come on, look at the thing. Turns out, someone in Marky's inner circle thinks the exact same way we do. My dad hates it. Really bless this man's soul. Yeah. He asked me this summer what I was going to do this. I said probably the ears again. He said please don't. It looks awful. At the very least, this means Marky understands to kind of impact his mask is having. Some people love them, yes. He now has multiple ears masks. Some people don't like them. Hello, how did you settle on the ears anyway? He had Steve Shields as a goalie coach in San Antonio one year. He was one of the first who did the ears with the scars on it. When he played in Boston, it's a different look and no one really has it anymore. For good reason. Carey Price had it for an outdoor game once. It's different. You can't please everyone in this world. If you could, it would be a great world to live in, but you can please your dad. Don't you want to please your father? Well, see what happens. There's two now. If one breaks now, I have a similar mask. Yeah, I've heard. And with that, Marky breathed in a deep, evil laugh and strutted off into Marky World. Best blame the mask if you were looking for the greatest hits. Marky was looking for a penalty just like Luango was when the 2007 series with the Ducks ended. Best screen GRABBEST alternate ending. Imagine if it all ended with Edler coming on the ice to make one final announcement. Heard the Canucks will never ask him to wave. Is it because his wife and TL16's wife are buds? Best father team men never forget. Father time is undefeated. Look at Henrik skate in the glory days. Those edges. That speed. Tonight was amazing, but it wasn't this. Best what IFBEST dream. Hey, everything seems possible right now. Let's ride. Best rumor. There was a Sedan tribute video voiced by Berkey, and the hottest rumor of the day was that someone at Rogers Arena wanted it spiked because of the narrator. You are free to make your guesses of whom would want such a thing. Good news, the video, a robust 6 minutes, aired with Berkey telling the story. The crowd erupted when A.V., Burrows, Bert and Lou made appearances. Best COMBOBEST defense. The Sedans love them some Edler. He gets a lot of criticism, Henrik said, but he's a heart and soul guy. He's been our best defenseman every year. There's no question about it, even last year and the year before. I mean, the fans, it's their vote, but for me and here, no. 1 BIGGEST screw job. Remember, the same people telling you Connor McDavid isn't a Hart candidate committed one of the most egregious injustices in modern sports trophy voting. Corey Perry over Daniel Sedan for the Hart remains a clown show decision. It hurts even more today, because Daniel set out to match Henrik's double trophy win, and he did just that. He just didn't get the votes. He sure should have. Absorb this. How can that be even close? Well, Perry scored 14 goals in his final 12 games. But 12 games is a fraction of a. They rationalized it at the time because they claimed Daniel's team was too good. He benefited from playing with too many good players around him. It's bananas to look back on because now they're making the flip side of the argument this year. McDavid's team isn't good enough. He doesn't have enough good players around him to get the votes. Yeah, right. Now it's time to check in on an old-school Vancouver villain. Not only did this man not vote Daniel, he didn't even have him second. Imagine citing two-way excellence and picking a guy with the sub-47% CF at no. 1. Damn. Let me guess, he can't understand why McDavid should be considered today. This year's Perry, by the way, is Taylor Hall, who will get the love over Malkin and Kucherov because their teams are too good. And guess who is voting for Hall? Keep this one on the same shelf where Luango was second in Hart voting for the 2006-07 but didn't win the Vezina. F the voters. At least the players got it right. Best response at the question. The response is, the winner, like dancingpic.twitter.com/mavkibdalo, nobody at petbugs13 April 5, 2018 worst IDEAWORSTTRIBUTEBEST lolia. This observation hit me in the gut this week too. Best read this Twitter moment thread is pretty great. Wyatt suggested it'd be a great book if it was made into a coffee table book. You could take my money right now. Best is that you's that you Jim. Best goal Pulisic. He scores this stunner and it is just overshadowed. Still, amazing goal. Best find OICUETEM's fan. Any the Provies consumers have a closer look at this guy. Yes, indeed. Best fake. Any WSBEST guest Jason Garrison in the house. Biggest FEARNOOOOOOOOOBEST callback this memory. Burrows on with Donnie and the MOJ going over the Canucks 2009-10 finale and how Henrik won the Art Ross. Henrik trailed OV by a point and OV still had one game to play the next day on the Sunday. We were heading to the playoffs but deep down inside, I knew the Twins wanted to get that title for Hank, even though they didn't say anything. Burrow said, we went out that night and I remember Henrik tossing a cross-ice saucer pass to Danny and he just burned J. Boomester wide and was able to beat Kipper. Going into the third, Hank was tied with OV but OV had more goals so we needed to get something done and he finally got another apple, then the one to put him two ahead. I'm sure you remember. It was the play off the face-off where Henrik wanted it back from Christian Ehrhoff and he did the one-touch pass to the circle, no look between the legs to Danny, and Danny finished it off between the legs. Oh, we remember. Best explanation on of the great experiences of the week has been mining the Sedans' greatest hits. All those breathtaking goals. It's made for a wonderful refresher course in the greatness. It's easy to forget just how many insane plays tumbled out of their minds over the years. At their best, these plays were happening nightly, the type of moments which would leave you smacking the elbow of whomever you were sitting beside. Did you see that? You're a goddamn right I did. So many tic-tac-toes. So much sauce. Through it all this week there's been this fascinating subplot about their character. Two superstars who make being a real human, down to earth and kind sound so easy. It's not. It's what every player should try to do, Henrik said. It's not tough to treat people the way they should be treated. If that takes energy from you, or if that's tough for you to do, I think you're in the wrong business. Turns out, hundreds of pro athletes are in the wrong business. One of the foundational 7 characteristics which has been detailed often this week is their burn to stand up and defend their team in the darkest hours. And when the sun comes up again, they drift into the background and let others bask in the shine. There is no better way to show their absence of ego. You try to be honest with your own game and the team's game. Sometimes, the media and the fans don't like what you have to say. But it's what we feel, Henrik said. We've been pretty good, I think, at rating our own game. We always knew when we had been terrible. We didn't need the feedback from media, social media or fans. I think that's helped us throughout the years. All of this is rare. The sedans are rare, and you will never see anything like it again. Best ending on then I can tell myself what the hell I'm supposed to do, and then I can tell myself not to ride along with you. We had all and then most of you some, and now none of you. Take me back to the night we met.